Are we set? Can the folk out there on the internet hear me?
Yes.
Well, I guess
On the internet.
I guess yeah, since y'all are here, someone on the internet could hear me, but
Oh, are we streaming?
that's what I'm asking.
Yes.
We're live.
Okay.
Okay.
Captain's log stardate 54.025.6. We're on our way back to, or wait, we're not on our way back to, we're actually on Starbase 21. We've just docked with Starbase 21 after a very interesting first mission. We've also divested ourselves of our Ferengi and Nausicaan friends and all of the wonderful weapons and material they had with them. I've instructed the first officer to start ordering leave, so hopefully the crew will be in good spirits after a first successful mission and then copious amounts of time on a starbase. In log.
Just as the log said, the Tereshkova is currently docked at Starbase 21. For the remainder of the session, it's literally up to you guys on what you wish to do.
Yeah, we'll take over the starbase. That sounds like a great idea.
Captain, looks like we're all docked up and ready to disembark at your command, sir.
Very good. I press on the panel on my chair. Before I announce to the crew, Commander, you have set up shifts for leave?
Yes, sir. And I intend to supervise quite a bit of it before I take my shift out.
Okay.
Give you time to relax.
This is the captain speaking. Everyone assigned to Alpha Shift is now authorized to leave the ship and go on the starbase for leave. Department heads, make sure you wrap up any experiments or diagnostics you have going on before you leave. We don't need any accidents. Captain out. I lean over to the commander. I just have to add that one bit in because I have had a doctor leave something growing in a lab once, and we all went on leave, and it wasn't pretty when we came back.
Fungal organism taking over the ship, sir?
It didn't take over the ship so much as it made half a deck unbreathable. It wasn't unbreathable, it just smelled really bad.
Oh, close enough to unbreathable then. Oh, it's been a while since I've had the chance to take some leave. Doubt they have Romulan ale on the station, but I'm going to look anyways.
Well, it's certainly okay to enjoy yourself, Lieutenant. Just
Try not to cause any trouble.
try not to become an alcoholic.
Don't
or
worry,
cause any trouble.
sir. Well,
Well, it is my job to worry because,
of course, sir. I just mean that, well, I'd like to think I'm not an alcoholic. At least I don't have any sort of habit yet. But
why
we
don't we can discuss this in a more
right.
private time later. Why don't you go ahead, Commander? Why don't you go ahead and just set up a meeting in future with the lieutenant here? We don't want to see any futures wasted.
Of course, sir.
Fair enough.
Commander, do you know if the starbase has holodecks?
Should have a full complement of, and they even have some of the new holosuites now. Multi-story complexes and the like. Since it's so far off, they need to make sure everyone gets a nice fund. Thankfully, wish more bases had them.
Never been out to this station before.
Oh, I've been doing reading as we were flying out this way, sir. I like to be prepared when it comes to my choice of recreation. Put it that way.
Any good restaurants or bars, Commander?
Depends if you like spicy, or Federation food.
I like a little bit of a taste of the exotic. Oh, I don't know. You spending your time out on those little, for lack of a better word, boring. Well, usually boring. They're either boring or terrifying. The more frontier star bases. You tend to get bored of the rations and the same thing from the replicator every day. It's well, I like to refresh my palate a little.
Well, if you want to try something you probably haven't had much of, there is a Kardashian themed restaurant that's in there. I would suggest a Klingon one, but everyone's done the Klingon challenge of eating gach. Well, at least I hope so. But Kardashian food is, well, it is different, and I think you might find it refreshingly different.
Been looking to try some good Kanar, actually.
I've heard good things. Haven't had.
It's neither have I. I've heard it's rather almost a little not syrupy, but it's very thick compared to most alcoholic drinks. Almost a smoothie-like sort of consistency.
Yes.
But perhaps not quite that thick, but it's interesting. But well, one thing about Klingon cuisine, they'll tell you that their blood wine's strong, but let me tell you, nothing beats a glass of Romulan ale.
Of course. I can't doubt that, Lieutenant.
Have you ever had any yourself, sir?
No, I've had some. It's not to my taste. It's a little too strong.
I don't blame you, and I'm a Romulan.
I'm gonna start to leave the bridge, and I'm just gonna point back at Ritala. Do me a favor and take it easy.
I will, sir. Don't worry.
Well, I'm gonna worry, but
yes,
I don't want to see your name on a report, Lieutenant.
Trust me, even we Romulans are very cautious about our, I suppose, national drink, I guess you could say. So it's not something you take lightly, no matter how good you think, no matter how well you think you can take it. I'll see you, I suppose, try not to die on the holodeck? I don't know. I've never been good at talking to people, sir.
He just leaves.
Fair enough. I don't blame him.
I'm headed to a holodeck on the base eventually.
Do you have any plans, Commander?
Catching up with some work for the ship. Wanted to give the captain time to relax, so I'm gonna do all the refitting operations material. I'm even giving the ops manager some time off. So I won't be free until the end of our leave time, our shift at leave. I am
Fair
attending a
enough.
dinner though, or trying to arrange a dinner, which that will be its own issue. Yourself,
Meetings.
Lieutenant?
No specific plans, honestly. Well, I suppose I'm a little bit nervous about leaving my... I mean, not that I don't think my security team is capable, but I like to, make sure everything's exactly how it should be. But I don't have any specific plans now.
Lieutenant, all I can tell you is, now that you're on leave the work behind.
I'll
you
try,
are
sir.
you are a Federation citizen enjoying herself, and you enjoy every privilege that you have, because we won't get this often. Given security.
I suppose I don't have to worry about the Tal Shiar breathing down my neck out here.
One should certainly hope not, anyway.
Certainly. I'll see you on the starbase, sir.
Enjoy yourself, Lieutenant.
I will, thank you. And then she'll head to the turbo lift, assuming it's back by now.
Meanwhile, in engineering, Caleb is having a conversation with one of the engineering staff.
Oh, actually, I might like to...
Is it that engineering staff? Is it the specific one?
Yes, the one. I should make a stop at engineering, actually, because I haven't met our engineer yet. Thought I'd know who wants to go next.
Can you guys actually?
Yeah, I can hear you. Assuming that's what you're asking.
Well, I was making sure Prax had heard me.
I did.
Okay. So yeah, it's just some random engineering NPC, and he's basically Kalen's basically holding a pad with some diagnostic readings, and goes, make sure to keep an eye on the plasma injectors. Looks like our run-in when we were chasing the Sarek stressed them a little bit too much. I don't want them to overheat. Some of them might have burned out. I don't know. I need to do a level 1 diagnostic on them, but just keep an eye on them for now, I guess.
Of course, sir. I might suggest recommending that we do a full clean of the manifolds as well while we're docked.
Well, considering we are docked, yeah, might as well do a full clean on the impulse manifolds. Give it about an hour and then send someone to examine the warp coils as well.
Will do, sir. Anything else?
That's all I can think of right now. Keep her running.
Of course, sir.
Well, in that case, I'll be back in, I guess 8 hours or some time to relieve you. Out of character, how long is the designated leave for each shift?
How long are we here?
You haven't given new orders, so you're on leave until the Admiralty says otherwise.
Oh, then it's up to Joan how long she stipulated, or he stipulated.
I'm basically giving 8 hours per shift, so each shift gets a full day to themselves, while the rest of us keep up with the ship.
Okay, then in that case, I'll tell the engineer I'll be back to check in about 8 hours, but other than that, just to get an update from you.
Understood, sir.
And with that, Calum goes to leaves engineering. Let's put it that way.
All right. Where to next?
Rotala was actually gonna go. Go
Oh,
to
you're
try
going to engineer? Okay.
Yeah, she was gonna go try to meet Caleb actually, because she hasn't talked to him yet, and I think he's the only department head that she hasn't spoken to directly. Unless I've gone completely insane.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's been in engineering for most of your tour.
Yeah, so maybe she catches him like just as he's getting into the turbo lift, or we'll see.
And dropped you in.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So I guess I'll probably be heading to some different location while you're heading down to engineering, and somehow we managed to cross in the turbo lift.
Yeah. Or maybe as you're going to the turbo lift, I run into you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ah, Lieutenant Tabin, I wanted to talk to you actually. I think you're the only other department head I haven't met yet.
It's Lieutenant Rotala, correct?
Ratala Tatarik, yes. Pleasure to meet you. I'll hold out my hand to shake.
And Caleb will take it, shake your hand, and goes, by the way, it's Lieutenant Caleb, not Lieutenant Tobin. Bajorans are finicky. We follow the, if you're familiar with human history, I believe it's the Japanese culture.
Ah, yes. Right. I'm sorry if I hope I didn't cause you any offense.
Oh, no. I'm used to it, Lieutenant. It's just, you know, proper, all that other good stuff, you know.
Right, of course. Well, yeah, I'm still, I suppose I've been, living in the Federation for... Oh, speaking of, I'm not sure if you were aware of this, but I am a Romulan, so Federation customs I didn't grow up around exactly. Especially not in this region of space. It's all very new to me.
Oh, yes, I understand entirely. I just wasn't sure if you were knowledgeable in that fact.
No, well, I appreciate you letting me know. I was just planning on heading to the starbase actually, hoping to get a couple of drinks. It's been a while since I've had a bit of a, taste of home, as it were.
Ah, yes. And it's been a while. Let's see, I think it's been about 3 months since I've had some Hosperat.
Ah, well, maybe you could, actually, I don't think I've had a Hosperat before. Mind if I join you?
Not at all, sure. We can, I can introduce you to Bajoran cuisine.
Oh, I'd appreciate it. And, you haven't, well, certainly doubt there's any Romulan cuisine, much Romulan cuisine at all to be had on the starbase, but have you tried a Romulan ale before, by any chance?
I have not. I have tried some Canar, but that happened during the occupation. It was just...
Meh. Well, maybe I can, introduce you to some Romulan ale then. Of course, I tell everyone who tries this, take it slow, little sips. It's, enough to knock
Yeah,
a
I
Klingon on his behind. Well, lead the way then, I suppose, if you have a place in mind.
Well, there is one other person who I would enjoy having join us, but
Of course.
I haven't really had much time to spend time with her. But
I certainly wouldn't want to impose on the two of you if you're, you know.
Oh, no. It's fine. We can have lunch as a crew, and then possibly me and her can split off and go somewhere else.
Fair enough. Yeah, as long as I'm not, you know, interjecting myself into some, well, you know, I wouldn't want to impinge on your privacy.
Oh,
course.
no. Well, basically, I invited you to have lunch with me, so the only
fair.
person she can get mad at is me.
I'll keep that in mind, Lieutenant.
And with that, Caleb will hit his communicator and go, Caleb to Leva?
I ruined
Yes,
their
Lieutenant.
date. Nice.
Would you mind joining me on the starbase for some lunch?
Of course.
Does Hosprat sound good to you?
Sure.
All right, then, oh boy, now I gotta think of a, all right, meet me on the promenade of the starbase. I think we'll head over to, a place called, Merrill's? Yeah, I think that's right. I believe that's, a Bajoran who, has a, trying to think of the right word, cafeteria there.
Very well. I will see you in 30 minutes.
I'll be there.
I don't think Leva was beta shift though.
No,
she is
Alpha. Yeah, I believe she's alpha.
Oh yeah, we're all technically alpha except for maybe the commander. He's kind of half alpha, half beta, I think.
Yeah, Leva is chief of operations. She's Alpha Shift.
Well, I suppose we'd best get headed to the starbase then.
Sounds good, Lieutenant.
All right, and as long as we're off duty, by the way, feel free to just call me Ratalda.
All done?
Yeah, I'm headed out.
Okay. Safe driving.
Well, who is next? So we'll come back to that in a little bit.
My character's just really doing some window shopping on the starbase.
Sure, I can do the thing. I'll have gone to the holodeck and have started up like a personal program of mine, and then the commander will get a message to catch up with me whenever he gets a chance.
All right. What program is you wanting to run?
I mean it's of his home world, so it's not like an action or anything like that. I was gonna describe it whenever Joan came in.
Captain, you sent a message for me?
I guess you're at the door of the thing.
Messaging you over comm badge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could use some advice when you get a second.
As long as you don't mind me bringing along a pad, I can be where you are. Where are you, sir?
Hollow Suite 6.
Okay. Be there in a few minutes. And after a short while, he'll step in, uniform on, pad in hand, and tapping away at it.
You see like a somewhat modern, somewhat archaic house. It looks like it's probably Earth 20th century. And there's like a truck, like an internal combustion vehicle outside, and it in general looks like an older farm. And hearing the door, I'll look out from one of the windows. Oh, in here, Commander.
Oh. Walk in. Actually, you open the door with some familiarity of doors you actually have to open yourself.
I'm sitting at a desk with what looks like it kind of vaguely looks like something that might be a terminal. It's large and it's white and it has a monitor, but the monitor is massive. I'm just kind of typing away at it. I wanted to get your viewpoint on something, Commander. You've been out in the fleet more recently than I have. And I wanted to see how much experience you had with writing to next of kin and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've had to do that more often than I would like. Not since the war, but well, that's not true. Anyway, how can I help you, sir?
Well, I realized that although the lieutenant that died wasn't part of my crew, I was the one that listed her as most likely dead. And I probably would have been fine with the course of action I'd taken if I listed her only as missing in action, but I did list her missing, presumed dead. So I probably should have notified her parents personally, or her sister at least. But since she wasn't my crew, it didn't feel necessary. But I think I kind of made a mistake. So I'm trying to write a letter. I don't really know what to say, though. I don't even know who she was.
When it comes to that sort of thing, I usually go look over their service record and make some personal interpretations on what kind of officer they were, that sort of thing.
That doesn't feel hollow?
Well, you're being truthful, right? I mean, you do want to express your regret, but you don't want to pretend that's something that you don't actually feel, because that can be felt in writing as much as in person. What's important is that you acknowledge the loss, but you also acknowledge the success of the person. I might also suggest as well looking into her into the people she's from. Some culture groups are very mournful when they lose someone. Others can be especially celebratory. It very much depends, even among species, or within a species, I should say.
There aren't a lot of humans that way. Humans are mostly mournful.
Mm. Have you heard much from her sister yet?
I'm going to ask this out of character because it would sound like an asshole to say in character. Is she still on the ship?
She is technically still on the ship, yes.
Okay.
But she's been dealing with the counselor for the entire time. So, and technically she hasn't been assigned to the ship, so she was just assigned quarters temporarily. So she's not even part of the crew.
I haven't had a chance to follow up on the counselor's progress. Could you pull that up on the pad? I point at the machine. This thing can barely run a word processor. Well, I guess I could make it do anything, but that would break the verisimilitude of the room.
Here, counselor file, Newman. Here's how much the counselors put across her. I hand over the pad in my hand. She seems to be, at least she's going to the meetings, so that's a positive sign. I'm not sure, again, I still have to give her evaluation. I'm looking at talking to the various department heads for the beta shift to see about what we need, what we don't need, and sort of ask if Newman is ready from the medical staff. But I'm trying not to rush her. But at the same time, we need to be ready to go, so.
Well,
Old war habits, I guess. I'm too used to being ready to jump out of Starbase any second.
I think we can let go of those feelings. Maybe in an act of penance, let's request a transfer for her to the ship and assign her to work in one of the labs, but you don't actually have to follow up on if she's actually going to work or anything for the moment.
All right, I'll let the head of science know, and to ease up a bit for a while. Besides, we can always use an extra. The department on board the Tereshkova is actually fairly large for science. I'm actually quite glad to be on a galaxy finally.
Must be nice to be on a ship in general that's not rigged for war.
Well, yeah, I've been on a lot of ships that weren't, sir. It's the trick is making the ship work with whatever you got, really. I think the only proper warship we had, even during the war, was the Defiant, and I never saw a head or tail of it. In the Sao Paulo, I suppose.
Well, there's a lot of difference between a galaxy laden with diplomatic suites and science laboratories and engineering development pods, and a galaxy that has been outfitted with quantum torpedoes and ablative armor and redundant engineering systems. One is very much a warship, even if we wouldn't call it such.
Nah, that's true. Have you thought about speaking with the sister yourself regarding the loss? I mean, better late than never. Besides, you might get some insight into what to say to her family, or what family she even wants to be notified, for that matter. Given the Newmans were on a less than official posting not that long ago until the Sarek, the records may be a little spottier than we would like, especially out in the Shackleton. Things were more than a little disorganized out there, for good and ill.
I'll talk to the counselor about it. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
undo any work, being that I'm less than professionally. I'm less than professionally certified in that area. He points towards the monitor. I'm much more inclined to write manuals than deal with people.
In that case, I would suggest a heartfelt letter. Or maybe not heartfelt, sincere letter.
That's what I intended. I just, getting some thoughts and from you and trying to figure out where to put the reference section. Those are the things I'm working on today. And he gives a chuckle.
Oh, before I forget, sir, I am arranging for a dinner among the senior staff at the general mess. Apparently, there's a new chef that's come in with the rest of the 10th, so I might be able to get us a nice table for the whole crew and have us a nice sit down and chat off the ship. I was gonna put in for the Vux's Parlor, this Cardassian place, but I felt that was a little insensitive to Lieutenant Calum.
Why don't we make a day of it instead? Why don't you see if you can get the chef for a meal and set up one of our, move around a couple of bulkheads and have a dinner for not only the senior staff but also any of the crew that would like to attend, and we can get out of the way a few, minor promotions and minor awards that have been stacking up.
Make a banquet of it. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, sir. I like that. I'll get on that. But if you need anything else, you can just call me up. I'm working off my pad mainly, so walking off of a pad. Thankfully, the benefit of a ship being a dock, I don't have to sit on the bridge the whole time. Anyway, sir, I'll let you to your writing.
Yeah. Oh, and make sure whoever you put in charge of Gamma Shift, make sure we're working towards chair hours for the lower officers on that.
How's that, sir?
Everyone needs to get their time in the chair to move up.
Oh, yes, that's right.
We often neglect engineers and operations managers in favor of science officers and tactical officers, so make sure we have someone appropriate. I'll handle beta shift.
All right. I'll arrange that, sir. Maybe get some burgeoning Lieutenant Junior on it. Enjoy your holodeck time, sir.
Thanks. And he'll kind of turn back around and go back to typing.
And I'll head off elsewhere to make arrangements.
It did.
I seed the floor.
All right, I believe someone was doing some window shopping.
I was.
That does not work.
Sounds
It's
a
all
little bit evil there.
medieval sounding.
Hey, maybe they're having a Ren
Yeah.
Fair on the starbase.
Oh, the audio manager. How I hate and love the. Okay. As I'm frantically searching for something. All right. You're walking by. Walking down. I'm assuming are you in uniform still or more casual?
I am. Nope, in uniform.
Okay. Um, you notice several various different types of shops. From all sorts of different cultures. See several like Cardassian boutiques as well as Klingon, which is kind of surprising. But the starbase is located in kind of in Federation territory in between the two empires. As well as you see like other Federation type stuff from the different core worlds. As you're walking by the Cardassian boutique, Lieutenant, may I interest you in my fine wares?
And I'll do a quick look and see what he has. I'm assuming it's like a shop owner.
Yes, it is a shop owner. It is a various clothing. He does prize himself on tailors. There's several things for both men and women's fashion. Some of it's kind of plain. Some of it's a little bit more exorbitant. It's like, can I interest you in a new wardrobe? And I tailor to suit.
What are some of your finer pieces?
I have this wonderful item I think you will quite enjoy. It's the finest silk in all of the quadrant. And as he motions you to come in, he pulls the dress off the rack and then kind of just holds it for you to view.
And I'll reach out and try to feel it and see how soft and silky it is.
Give me a insight science. Difficulty 1. While it does appear to be silk and sweat or kind of soft to the touch, it's not real silk.
I don't know if this is me. Is there anything else you have?
Yes. Over here. Is there something in particular? I also tailor to suit needs.
Just kind of browsing today. I don't really know what I'm looking for. Something to pique my interest, surely.
I see. And he kind of glances you awkwardly as he looks at you intently. Perhaps this item over here. And he motions as he puts the other one on the rack and then goes over to show you another item. Perhaps something more humble might suit your needs. And it's a very simple cloth type blouse.
And I'll give it a good look over. I don't know if I'll have anywhere to wear it.
Surely you don't wear your uniform all the time, do you?
It is a comfortable piece of clothing, if I do say so myself.
I think I found something. Okay. I see. And he kind of just looks over and is like, do you wish to have something more casual? Perhaps for a lovely boyfriend.
There's no one like that. Don't have the time for such engagements.
Oh. Well, I'm sure something will happen down the road for you.
Perhaps. I don't know. Let me think on this purchase, and I'll get back to you.
Of course, I'm here 24/7. I suit all needs.
There's no way you could work 24 hours a day.
Well, my store is open. I'm not here all the time, but I have many employees.
I see. If I change my mind, I will be sure to let you know.
Of course.
And I will walk out and continue my browse.
All right. Um. Is there anything interesting that you wish to see? Or...
Really, I'm looking for trinkets. Possibly a small souvenir for back home. You know, window shopping.
Tourists.
This is her first time out this far.
You come to as you venture on, the promenade is quite huge. It seems to stretch on as it's part of the outer ring, the most outer ring of the actual station, and just goes in this huge long circle. As you approach, you do notice that there is a Rigelian dressed kind of has a bunch of jewelry on him and wears a fancy hat. You could definitely, and he has a shop, and he's like, it's like, come, one and all, see my finest wares. I just had a shipment in from. Oh, I gotta think of a planet name. Top of my head. Buzinthia. Come see the exotic wares that I have uncovered.
It'll pique my interest.
As you approach the merchant, he kind of looks like, ah, hello, madam. What is your name?
I am Sarah.
Ah, what an intriguing name. Intriguing name. I am Vai. Come, come. Are you interested in my store? I have many, many objects, and I have a new shipment that had just come in. Many artifacts of untold races.
I might be interested in a few small trinkets.
Please, come inside and take a look around.
And I will do that.
As you enter the merchant's shop, you notice it's a lot of various items. Some like small statues, jewelry, um, things from what appear to be from primitive civilizations. Um, as well as other items.
And I'll just kind of browse and peruse what they have.
And as you look around, you notice a strange glowing rock.
Well, that sounds like something that would pique my interest.
As you approach the rock, its color changes.
What can you tell me about this?
Oh, that item. You're not interested in that item. No, no, you want this item over here. As he points to a very elaborate gold-plated statue.
No, I don't think I'm the kind of person for gold-plated statues.
I see. Well, that rock is very interesting. It just came not too long ago in my collection. A man was very interested in trading it. It seemed to pique my interest for a time, but it doesn't do much other than change its color to person.
And you have no idea why?
I've had many people come, but I prefer not to, I prefer to leave it a mystery for my guests and my customers, of course.
How much are you asking for it?
For you, $5 of gold plus platinum.
Think I'm gonna have to think on that, good sir.
Oh, please take your time. And let me know if you see anything else that might strike your interest.
Thank you very much.
Just kind of slightly bows. As you leave his shop, he motions over to one of his employees, and he tells them to hurry and scuttle the rock somewhere else. The employee tries to not so discreetly pick it up and carry it off somewhere else.
Hmm. Do I catch that?
Yes, you do. Wasn't very hot, he wasn't being. He was trying to be discreet, but failed horribly at it.
Yeah, I probably won't say anything, and I'll probably just walk out because it does pique my interest, but not for $5. And I'll just continue browsing, still being mesmerized by the.
To the Vogel, give me a fitness plus medicine difficulty 1.
Only my worst stat. I'll go ahead and give you a threat.
Gain a momentum.
Oh, good.
For a moment, you shrug it off, but you just can't get that rock out of your mind.
Is it like something like I just can't stop thinking about it, or do I feel like called to go back?
You kind of felt a sensation like you wanted to go back, but you just shrug it off like, it's not really worth the price, but it's still in the back of your mind.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, and I'll just continue a quick browse, but at this point, probably not really looking at anything. And we'll eventually make my way back to the ship.
All right. All right. Who wants to go next?
We could cut over to Calum and the group there at Merrill's.
All right. So, as you're heading towards Merrill's, I'm assuming you're with Ratalia?
Rotala and joined
but I
sometime
know-
by Leva.
Yeah, okay. I just want to know if the two of you are together, walked there together, or not.
We meet on the promenade. I don't know whether she was on the ship and just met us at the airlock. But we do go into Merrill's together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Rotala would have probably left with Calum unless he, had something else to do or anything.
All right. So the two of you are have gotten the seat. You're sitting down. I will say it's a table that would seat 4 as you're waiting. And then Calum, you notice Leva walking in dressed. She's not really, while the two of you are in your uniform, she's not. She's dressed rather kind of scaled up a little bit. and she noticed you, and she has a smile on her face, and then see that smile, and then it kind of drips away as she notices Batala there.
How noticeable is that?
It's pretty noticeable.
Okay,
I'm
Ratala.
gonna look.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna look at Ratala and go. I think I'm in trouble.
Well, sounds like it might be my fault too.
I invited you. She can get mad at me.
All right, if you insist, but I'm not just going to leave you high and dry.
Okay.
We might barely know each other, but we're crew. It's,
True.
I share some of the blame.
So Leva approaches. She goes, Lieutenant, and she has a seat.
Leva.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to breathe into the mic that hard.
I didn't expect you to dress up.
I thought it was the two of us.
Oh, that's probably my fault.
I
My
really
bad.
don't mean to impose if you're... Well... Don't worry, if it matters, Lieutenant Caleb did, make sure to tell me that well, we're having lunch. The three of us are having lunch, but, I think he has plans for the two of you.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I kind of just cough, clear my throat a little bit.
Has the waiter, out of character, has the waiter been to the table? Have we already ordered, that type of stuff?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Okay.
Is there a waiter really... Oh, go ahead.
Well, it's nice to see you, Lieutenant. At least
Nice.
not from the transporter room.
Yes. It's, well, still getting used to the, Galaxy class. It's oh, don't get me wrong, it's an assignment well, I'm quite eager to have, being on Frontier Star bases for years, as I told the, commander, they're either extremely terrifying or extremely boring. There's not a lot of in between. And, well, my first, this is my first shipboard assignment, actually.
Oh. Hitting the ground running, then.
Yes, in a manner of speaking. It's, well, I like to think it's been going well so far. That, last assignment, I'm surprised we actually managed to pull off well, actually, no, it's, I have you to thank, actually, for, the exemplary job you did making sure that all those people got transported into the brigs exactly as they needed to be.
It was a team effort, Lieutenant. It wasn't just me.
Well, still, you deserve some commendation for it.
I'm only doing my job.
Fair enough, I suppose. I suppose you should get to ordering our, lunch, then.
Yeah, I suppose I probably should.
Out of character, is this a specifically a Bajoran restaurant, or is it just a general cafeteria sort of deal?
The way I pictured it was the person in charge was Bajoran. I don't know if all the staff is Bajoran. Maybe the chef is Bajoran. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's mainly run by Bajorans.
Okay, so it probably focuses on Bajoran cuisine.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's enough about me. Lieutenant, second, Leva, yes? You're, how long have you been, well, I guess, obviously you're new to the Tereshkova, but how long have you been in, Starfleet for?
This would be my second ship posting. My first was on the Sarek. Well, Imjin, then became the Sarek. So I guess this is really my third.
At least it's not an Oberon,
But
right?
Yeah. It would be your third, wouldn't it? Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you want to fight your security chief, but...
I've been in Starfleet for about 5 years, not counting my academy days.
Fair enough. I think for me it's been... 6, almost. Well, I entered Starfleet Academy as an ensign, thanks to my... Well, okay, it wasn't exactly a Starfleet sort of education that you get on Romulus, but, it was enough that Starfleet let me, start a little bit ahead, I suppose. They, well, not really home anymore, but they start you very young in, the whole military education there. It's, let me tell you, Starfleet is very refreshing.
It's very interesting, Lieutenant. I mean, I hate to ask, but are the stories true?
Which, stories? It's quite alright, really. Ask away. I'm not too... At least I like to think I'm not too touchy.
Well, I heard that most of the Romans live in fear.
It's... yeah, that would be... Well, not entirely, but largely thanks to the Tulshiar. If you, they keep an eye on everyone, and if they think you're stepping out of line... Well, a couple of ways you can end up, none of them pleasant. I've heard stories of people being, people that are valuable enough, you know, too valuable to get rid of, they'll, recondition you. I don't really know exactly what that means, because Talshia, they don't talk to people about what they do, but it's, I suppose I was a little bit lucky. My, father was a senator. Mother was I guess the equivalent of a captain, so less scrutiny than most, but, if you weren't, well, important, then you were out of luck most of the time.
That sounds horrible.
It wasn't pleasant, I can tell you that much. It's, well, we knew how to party at least, but it was, you know, having the Talshia breathing down your neck 24/7, I much prefer the Federation. So much more, I don't know, personal freedom you're offered. Took a lot of getting used to, but now that I've gotten used to it...
Perhaps the three of us should get some holodeck time in while we're on leave. I know some lovely programs we could run.
I might be interested. I'm certainly not as skilled of an engineer as the two of you, but I like to think I've got a little bit of technical know-how, and I've always been something of an athlete. I got involved with a lot, back on Starfleet Academy, all those athletic activities that they try to, extracurriculars that they try to get you involved with. I was, not a meathead, but, I took every chance I could get at exercise and that sort of thing. Oh, sorry, I'm talking your ear off.
No, it's quite fine. By that moment, the waiter does come up and goes, "Sorry about the wait. What can I get? Can I get you?"
Yeah, let me get 3 orders of Hasperat, 1 order of Kanar to go with that, and what do you two want to drink?
I suppose if you're having Kanar, I'll have it. Yeah, why not?
Well, he goes, "I'll take a Rakagino." Goes, "All right, 3 orders of Kanar, 2 orders of Kanar, 3 orders of Hasperats, and 1 Rakagino."
Sounds wonderful.
Alright, coming right up.
Joan is a bit of a negative Nancy. Joan is a bit of a negative Nancy. I'm nervous. Do we even have money to tip them with?
That'd be Latinum credits.
Right.
So waiter goes away, comes back with some assorted Bajoran breads and some spreads as he puts them on the table. A few moments later, he brings the drinks.
Thank you.
And as the waiter leaves, I guess Caleb is like, "Well, I kind of figured it'd be good for me to have a taste of home, but for you two to try out some Bajoran cuisine. I don't know how familiar you two are with it. I think, Ritala, you said you'd never tried it. And I don't think you have either, Leva."
Oh, I have when I was on DS9.
Oh. Wait, you're on DS9? When?
It was for a training. It was from during my academy days.
Tala just smiles and lets them talk.
When? What year?
Sorry, I'm doing math in my head.
I know.
That's the session now. We're just doing math.
It's 2371.
2371. 2 years after the occupation has ended. Huh. That's hilarious. I actually was on DS9 at that time too.
Oh, I mean, it was just a short stop. I mean, I wasn't there for long.
Sounds like fate to me.
I wouldn't call it fate.
Yeah, we didn't run into each other there. It's funny because at the time, I was part of the Bajoran security team while. Oh, man. I still have some contacts on DS9.
Space Nine, I've never been out that far.
Well, perhaps one day the Tereshkova will be docked there for a short time.
Probably, yeah. Hopefully. I'd love to play Dabo against Quark again.
I was warned to stay away at the time. My instructor wasn't too proud of engaging in the gambling facilities.
Yeah, well, Quark stuff was a little rigged. You had to know the system.
And at that, Ritala just nods, definitely Ferengi.
Well, I mean, if there's any indication from our last mission.
Yeah, we've certainly not seen the last of them.
No, Ferengi always show up where you don't want them to.
And where they can make the most profit.
True.
Something rules of acquisition.
And I halfway see a Ferengi walking past the restaurant at that time, just doing some sort of sales pitch.
I mean, it's a place where commerce is happening. There are Ferengi here.
Yeah. Oh, it's Nog.
Oh no. How old would he be at this point? Like in his 20s, I think.
Oh, good grief. No, because this is just after the Dominion War a little bit.
This is 2 years. This is actually a year. Over
Yeah,
a year
he should
past
still be on. He should still be serving on the Defiant, though, right?
Yeah, he's still a cadet, I think, or an ensign.
No, he's an ensign. He is an ensign
Yeah.
because he was promoted the last episode of DS9.
Yeah, so he would have. It says he's Lieutenant Junior grade on Memory Alpha for some reason. Seems wrong, but.
Yeah, he entered the war in the middle of the war. He was an ensign. That at the tail end, he got his lieutenancy.
That's right, lieutenancy. That's right.
Okay.
I knew there was a
So
promotion.
would be lieutenant junior.
Yeah, because I thought he had gone and come back from the academy during the show.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
He got fast tracked because they desperately needed officers for some reason.
War.
Oh no, there wasn't a war going on. Not at all.
Maybe
Just a
it's
skirmish.
war.
It's not like Federation citizens were dying off by the millions or anything.
Oh, Ritala would have served in the Dominion.
Well, since you didn't serve in a ship, it's kind of you half served during the Dominion War,
Yeah, I served on star bases.
which is the same boat that Elder's in. Elder didn't serve on a ship during
One
the
of
war.
her star bases got, at least in one of the posts she served on, probably where her outpost got blown up by the Breen. There's that. Anyways, back to in-character stuff. So, if you don't mind me asking, and again, this might just be my bluntness, which I will apologize for. How long have you two been together for?
Oh, good grief.
Okay, no, she's not asking if they're in an open relationship.
I think the answer to that would probably be like 3-4 months, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
You know, I think our commander might need to be removed from his post. Just saying. Well, you make a cute couple, for what it's worth.
Thank you. Is there anyone special in your life?
Oh, there hasn't been for... it's been a long Downtime. I had a... Rutala kind of pauses for a second, just in thought. She's sort of playing, fidgeting a little bit with her fingers. I had a girlfriend back on Romulus, but we had to part ways when when I defected. Couple, brief relationships in the academy, but I haven't really, found someone yet. There was I think she's a counselor, a good friend of mine, who, unrequited love, as it were, I've never been much of a talker. Well, never been very good at it, I mean.
Well, that's a shame. Hopefully one day you'll meet again, or find someone else to rekindle that spirit of yours.
Oh, I'm sure I will. How's that human saying go? There's always more fish in the sea. It's a little bit strange, I suppose, but I've always been fascinated with the 1980s on Earth. Love the music. I'm a little bit of a musician myself, actually.
What instrument do you play?
A little bit of electric guitar, and there's a Romulan instrument I play. It's a sort of like a harmonica type of thing, but a little bit of both. It's I'm especially interested in the I guess the rock, metal sort of music of that period. I've always found it, I don't know, speaks to me, It's, I don't know, just fun. That's what I like in music. Do either of you play any instruments?
Yeah, I play the warp core.
Fair enough, Lieutenant. You must be quite good at it, I'd imagine. You're Lieutenant Junior grade, and you're maybe the Chief Engineer of a Galaxy-class ship.
Well, that was mainly because our former Chief of Engineering on the Sarek, of course this was while I was flight operator on board the Sarek, the Chief of Engineering got reassigned to the Starfleet Corps of Engineers, and basically it was between me and Leva, and I don't know how that one happened.
Oh?
How he turns to Leva and goes, "How did I get Chief of Engineering on the Sarek? I was coming from another department. You were in that department."
I'll take a drink of my Cardassian drink. I forgot the name of it at the moment.
I think Leva's a bit preoccupied with her drink at the moment.
Possibly.
Kanar, that was it. Take a drink. Not a swig, just a nice, moderate, kind of careful drink. Trying not to get drunk. Doing what the captain said. Has the food arrived by this point? Oh, the GM's gone. Okay. about you, Lieutenant Caleb? How long have you been in Starfleet for?
Let's see. I think if my mathematics is correct, out of character, that is, Caleb will look at you and go, I've been in Starfleet for about a year and a half.
And you're already on a Galaxy class, wow.
Well,
Did you grow up on Bajor then? Look, I'm a Romulan that doesn't do social graces. I wouldn't call it benevolent. Anyways, I'm wondering, Commander, are you... I guess you're Ryzen, so it kind of works, but if you weren't, I'd really be questioning why you're trying to get a...
now I'm here.
Rotala is just... Yeah, that's why I was saying that's why it kind of does make sense. You're trying to get the three of us to get together. Yeah. But anyways, Rotala just asked Caleb, so did you grow up on Bajor then?
Yes, I was on the Kendra province. I grew up on the Kendra province. Served in the Bajoran resistance during the occupation. All that good stuff,
Good stuff. That's one way to put it. Can't imagine what it must have been like to live under that.
Not very fun.
I can imagine. It's, unfortunately, the Romulan Star Empire, well, whatever's left of Romulus, we're guilty of... Oh, right, what are those things called? Statue. Well, what I'd like to call crimes, but, I suppose, now's not the time to talk about that sort of thing. We're gone, right? Oh, if Commander Joan tries to give Rotala one of those.
Alrighty. I'm guessing we could probably cut somewhere else real quick.
Yeah. Since too much is gone, we're just gonna keep chatting for a while. Well, it's been 2 hours and 30 minutes, too. I don't know, maybe the commander and captain could talk more? Or if you want to split here, Rotala could go, find something else to do. Although, there is something I do want her to do, but it's going to require the GM being there. Have her buy some blades. One blade, rather. Or a stick. Try.
Commander Joan to Lieutenant Ratalia.
Lieutenant Rotala speaking.
Sorry, Ratalia. Who have you assigned as your beta ship supervisor? I'm still trying to figure out who that is right now. Who you have assigned there?
Okay, out of character, I would have had the the supporting characters that I've got listed there to choose from, right?
We have a couple if you need reference in the Roll20. a support
I don't know if
character.
you left Ensign Talk in that seat, or if you left it to Lieutenant Junior Simon.
That would be Lieutenant Junior Simon, sir.
All right.
I apologize for the confusion.
No, it's fine. It's things got mixed around when I was giving people leave. I just want to make sure I was gonna bother the right person on the right shift. Thank you.
Fair. Are you still
Mhm.
still shipboard then, sir? Or are you-
I'm aboard station at the moment, just catching up with work and meetings.
Fair enough. Well, maybe I'll perhaps I can catch you later.
Sure. Just message me if you need me.
Will do. Lieutenant Shark out. Maybe I'll maybe now would be the time to go to the commander. Get a. Does he just carry around Horgon to just hand out to people?
No.
Are you sure?
He's a long time from Ryza.
Rise is where you're at.
Well, you can take the Ryzen out of Ryza, but you can't take the. Or you can take the. Oh, what's that? How's that saying go?
You can take the Ryzen off of Ryza, but you can't take Ryza out of the Ryzen.
Yes, that's it.
It works a lot better when the two words aren't one letter apart from each other.
Yeah, like the. Never mind. I will shut up. Did I actually put my background stuff on top? Just want to check what sport she's actually. I know she played Velocity, and I think she did some.
Commander Joan to Lieutenant Vogel.
Go ahead, Commander.
You're permanently assigned to science now, or the head of the science department.
Yes, sir.
Right. I kept thinking you were head of flight, and I was wondering why your name was there. I was about to correct it and put you in flight. Sorry about that. So, slight thing I wanted to alert you to. Going to have a meeting with you tomorrow about this, but thought I'd give you a heads up. I'm looking to put Lieutenant Newman, possibly offering them a position in the labs. If you could just give your department guys a heads up that go easy on her. Like, we're hoping that she can start out and warm up to active duty, but figure you could use some more staff.
Very good, Commander. I'll let the team know we'll get in a new person.
Oh, did your department need any new scanners or equipment? Well, I'm on station right now, so I'm looking to. I might be getting some resupply.
We did leave a list with the ship's quartermaster, sir. They should be taking care of it for us.
Oh, yeah, I see it here. Thank you. Commander out.
I guess so.
Did we ever have character sheets for the Newmans?
The GM has them, but we don't get to
I
use
do.
them because they're rated as full characters and not support character.
Aha.
What do you want to know about the Newmans?
Oh, nothing. I was just, they keep being brought up, and I'm like, I have yet to see a character sheet for them. I thought they were support characters. That's all I asked.
They're not. Nope. They're more NPC type characters.
Yep.
Would I have a question? Would I be able to get information about? Like, I assume there's some sort of listing on the starbase of like what sort of shops and stuff they have, sort of like you'd find on home.
There's a whole range of shops.
Okay. Do they have any that sell like that might have put it, like antique. And by antique, I mean very, very antique. Like weapons, like swords. It's more like, you know, like
Weapons
decorative
are not.
swords or... Oh, okay.
You would have. So there might be a shop for that, but weapon sales are off limits.
Okay, even
on the station.
if they're... Okay. Gotcha. How about instruments? Yeah, that's what I meant. Joan, like
Um,
guess I could just do...
I mean, there's various, you know.
Okay. So I'd probably just have to go window shopping then.
So who's wanting to do what?
I was kind of looking at, I guess aside from, if I can't get decorative weapon, like a decorative sword, is the... Oh, never mind. I was about to suggest go to meet with the commander. Talk about timing. Actually, you know, I might as well give it a try, since ale's legal now. Would there be, like, liquor stores?
Not really, no.
There's nothing that's going to sell food or alcohol retail because of replicate.
Right. I guess I just felt like there'd still be some sort of, you know, there's like traditionally made stuff. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Just mute myself for a second. What about like some place maybe that would sell instruments or sort of equipment for that sort of thing? I don't know if that's too obscure.
I'll tell you what. So as you're browsing through the promenade, you notice a Rigelian trade, dressed quite exuberant, with jewelry around his fingers and sort of a jeweled type necklace. In his shop, he's not like, come all see my latest shipment. They sell an exorbitant amount of unique items from across the quadrant.
I'll step inside the shop then.
Good evening. I don't see too many of your kind around here.
Yeah,
And in a
I'd assume
Starfleet
not.
uniform, no doubt.
Yes, it's a long story, but I won't bore you with it. So, what sort of wares do you sell here?
All sorts. Please come in, take a look around.
Yeah, do you have a Veron T disrupt, please? Hope not. Oh, I think I will, thank you. Inside the shop. Sort of just, I guess, take a look around, browse a little bit. Find anything of interest. I guess in particular I'm looking for, you know, Romulan cultural, anything that would be, I guess, quote-unquote, Romulan, or just interesting, how do I put it?
Roll an insight plus security. Difficulty
Okay.
1.
Second.
Gain a momentum. You do find a Romulan harp.
Excuse me, how much is this harp?
For you, 15 strips of latinum.
15 strips. I guess the follow-up question then, out of character, would be, how much do I have on me? I don't know how, like, the, money would be determined.
You have 14.
Oh. Damn it. Sorry. Oh, I only have 14 on me. Talk about unfortunate. I don't suppose there's any way I could, $15 strips exactly?
That is a discount.
Ah. That's all I have. Do I have... We're on the ship, or is that's essentially with the spending money I have available? I'm guessing that's just what I have. I could try, Kalen, but I've got, I'd be rolling a 10, I think. It's not impossible.
If you wish to barter with him, it's going to be a command plus presence difficulty of 1.
You know, I hate to be any trouble, but I don't suppose there's a way you could go down to 14 strips. It would... Well, I'm, as you can imagine, don't find things like this, out in Starfleet a lot, and well, you might not find a customer as eager to buy it as I am. Presence command. Do I want to use momentum? Probably not, but... Actually, do you guys mind if I use a momentum?
Go for it.
Okay, cool.
I mean, when we have to fight off the Borg, it's going to be your fault. But
Yeah, I mean, I hope we don't have to fight off.
It only takes 13 threat.
To fight off the Borg?
No, to call in a Borg cube.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Just at any time?
Yep.
Damn. That is... It's scary.
8 for sphere.
8 for sphere.
Only 6 for Diderics.
I'm not pointing my phaser at the cape. Okay, and I'm especially not trading it in.
What does an assimilated Diderics cost?
Oh boy.
You know what? I'll say it's probably 8. I would do the cost and then 2 for the complication that's a Borg. Simulated Borg Diderics.
Sorry, the momentum spend would increase the dice I'm rolling, right? Okay, yeah, I thought so.
By 1, yes. You would
I
roll
lost
3
my
dice.
Okay, here we go. Whew.
Get a momentum. I suppose.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what. I'll give it to you for 13. And you tell your friends about this place.
Sounds like a deal. I'll hand over the. I will hand over the 13 strips.
He nods and hands you the harp.
Thank you. I'll take the harp and I suppose carry it with me. Cradle it a little
Fitness plus security, difficulty 1.
bit. Oh, right.
How big is this harp?
Pretty big.
Sized harp, probably.
You good.
And I'll
You-
carry that back to the ship. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It looks quite heavier than what you thought it was. Like, oh, this is... I am told it's the finest craftsmanship from Romulus.
It does look like quite a nice piece. Thank you. I'll make sure to tell my friends about this place. And I guess after that I'll make my way back to the ship to put it away in my quarters. Yeah, I put it down. It explodes.
Alright. Back to the restaurant.
I guess Rotala would have excused herself to do a bit of shopping after thanking Caleb for the meal and the drink.
So, Tabin, we need to work on your communication skill.
Yeah, I probably should. Sorry about that.
I'm sure you'll make it up to me.
So, since we're on leave, what do you want to do?
Surprise me.
Oh, boy. Surprise you, huh? Alright then. Come with me. And he's gonna lead her to the Hollow Suites. I'll say Hollow Suites 4.
Yeah, because you're gonna be interrupting someone if you said 6.
Yeah.
Although, I probably deserve it for having interrupted Prax once or twice.
Yeah, and once we get to Hollow Suite 4, he's gonna program in the configurations for the Michelson fighter. The 2-person cockpit, all that good stuff. and basically say, I guess it's about time you experience what I used to do.
Okay.
And so when he opens the hollow suite, it's going to be the hangar deck of some random class ship. It doesn't have to be any specific class. It's just the hangar deck, and inside is the Michelson class fighter. And Caleb's going to look at Leva and go, I'm guessing you recognize this.
I do, but perhaps it's best we put a rain check on this. I'm not feeling too well.
Okay. What's wrong?
Must have been. My stomach's not feeling too well. I guess it's something I ate.
Well, it definitely wasn't the Hosperot.
I'll see you later, okay? And she exits the holodeck.
The look on Caleb's face is going to be like, what did I do?
Guy.
Alright, who wants to go next? Oh, did you guys make a supporting character or a counselor?
Oh, no, actually, I don't think so.
I think someone made the sheet but never actually filled it in.
I-
Maybe.
I
Yeah,
put a sheet.
Yeah, sheet's there. I'll
but-
fill that in. I think that sheet was literally made for that character that day. But they didn't. But we never put anything in it. So just the standard name or the random name.
Yeah, it's just a random name from the creation.
Not a full character.
Captain, what are you doing?
Does anyone need a scene with the captain? I pretty much only had the scene in the holodeck in mind.
Okay. So, Lieutenant Vogel, you still can't get that crystal out of your mind.
Yay, mind control.
Woo! Can I join your cult?
Is it one of those things where I'm gonna eventually have to go look at the shiny?
Maybe.
Because I'm wondering if I should just go get it over with.
You might be familiar with certain issues that officers run into out in the wild.
Hey,
Your
maybe
medicine's like above 1, I suppose.
maybe you'll run into me and we can get a cult. We can start a cult together. It'll be great. You know.
Take over the Federation for the shiny.
Yeah. Put the shiny in a crown. Maybe. I have good fitness, but not medicine, so I don't know how well I do against it.
I have poor and both.
Ah,
Yeah, Vogel has made the 2 checks every time.
nice. Knowing my luck, I'd probably fail all of them if I saw the shiny.
I swear, for it being a 9 and my worst roll, like I tend to always get it. But now I just jinx myself.
Oh, yeah, I had this D&D game I was in. We had this Warforged with like 7 int, and he always made knowledge checks. It's kind of hilarious. Is anyone doing anything right now?
The commander's wandering around, still working on stuff.
Yeah.
Meeting with various Starbase people, but he's not like locked away in an office or anything.
Fair enough. Does anyone else want to do something, or can I? So I just don't want to step on anybody's toes, you know.
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I guess by this point I've probably dropped off my harp at my quarters. This is Lieutenant Tacharik to Commander Joan. Are you available at the moment, Commander?
I can be. How can I help you?
Oh, it's well, it's nothing important. I was just hoping to I don't know if you'd be willing to join me for a few drinks, bit of a chat. I'm trying to get to know everyone.
Where am I? I could probably do a working lunch. Try to figure out where I am so I can tell you where we can meet up. Find me on the station. I'll send you where to meet. Unless you're on the ship.
I just got off the ship, actually. Picked up a nice Romulan harp at one of the shops on the station. Owned by a... Sorry, he was Rigelian, was it? The trader?
Yep.
I think... owned by a Rigelian trader. It was a interesting find, but anyway, I just finished dropping it off at my quarters. I'm heading back to the starbase now.
Yeah, meet me at Vux's Parlor. It's that Cardassian place near the jewelry shop. I'll be sitting there.
Will do. I'll see you in a few moments.
See you there.
And then I'll make my way towards the restaurant, I assume.
Yeah, I'm imagining like this sort of cafe / more. It's less dining, more you get to sit and drink and have small snacks sort of thing, but in a very Romanesque way because of the Cardassian culture.
It's almost like a wine bar type of restaurant, but
yeah,
not just wine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice, classy place. And I guess once I get there, I'll look around for the commander.
He'd be in uniform, sitting at one of the tables, a glass of some fruit drink or another next to him, hat in hand. Maybe a few people in there, not a ton of people, and probably a distinct lack of Bajorans in the room. Very
yeah. I wonder why. Yeah, and I guess Ratala will head towards the table and just grab herself a seat. It's a very nice restaurant, Commander. Classy.
Yeah, I intend to come back here once I get off my once I go onto my leave shift and try some of the Kanar here. I can't. I wave my pad. I can't right now. I can just have the non-alcoholic stuff. And Kanar Synthale, Synthale of anything actual, is just not worth it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I tried
Kanar-
Synth Scotch once. Terrible idea.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to drinks, and you know, Synthale will do in a pinch, but it's always something missing, I find. But,
So how are you finding the ship?
I'm quite enjoying it. I'm quite pleased with my security staff. I haven't had any issues so far. Everyone seems to be doing their jobs well enough. The doctor got a commendation, didn't she? For the most recent assignment?
Yes, it was a pretty difficult. I mean, that much medical achievement in a short amount of time. It's
incredible, really. She's if you don't mind me saying so, sir, quite the character.
How do you mean?
I don't know, it just seems a little how do I put it? More blunt than I'm used to. Outspoken, yes.
Doctors tend to have, since they're outside the chain of command, they tend to enjoy a certain level of freedom when it comes to the way they can speak with each other, including us. He taps at his collar.
Ah, fair enough. Well, I suppose I should be a little bit careful about how I speak to you, though, if I'm, well, I'm only a lieutenant, after all, sir.
Just follow what you were training, and everything will be fine. Only the most tightly wound officers that picky about that sort of thing.
Fair enough. I suppose we are off.
Ah,
well,
there it is.
On shore leave, too.
So you wanted to speak with me about something?
Yes, nothing specific, really. Like I said, I think it helps to get to know the people I'm going to be working with, sort of thing.
I'm an open book, Lieutenant. What do you want to know?
You're, well, I suppose we might as well start at the beginning. You're, I'm guessing the fact that the commander's Raijin would be, like, on his personnel file.
Yeah, well, heck, he wears the decoration on his forehead.
Oh, right.
Like, it's plain that he's Raijin.
You're, Raijin, I'm guessing.
You found out. How did you find... No.
Oh, it's
Yes.
that, Romulan brain of mine.
Yes.
We're very good at picking out spies.
Yeah, Rising spies. We don't make very good spies. We kind of stand out, sadly.
Well, fair enough.
But yeah, no, I'm from Ryza. I'm a Ryzen actually from Ryza. That is a distinction. Just because we have the emblem doesn't necessarily mean we're from the homeworld.
Right.
Most of us are.
Well, I can tell you for certain that I am not from the Federation originally. In case you weren't able to guess that.
Oh. I wasn't sure, actually. I assumed, given your... Well, I mean, some few years ago, there was the odd defector and the odd diplomat with family here, that sort of thing.
Yes, I suppose. Well, I am from Romulus originally, but I wouldn't call it immigration so much as got away from Romulus as quickly as possible because well, you know, Tal Shiar. I don't think I need to say too much more than that.
Did you serve in the Star Empire? Like, as I recall, they have mandatory service, don't they?
Yes, it was briefly, but I left when I was 17.
So more of a, I suppose, the equivalent of a cadet at that point. But I had, well, they start you on your education much earlier. Military education essentially.
Well, yeah.
And so when I joined Starfleet Academy, I started out as an ensign, and I was on a little bit of a short track. 3 years I went through the academy in, but just because
Oh, you joined before the war.
Yes, I did.
Oh.
I think, as I've said several times, mostly served on star bases, outposts. Starfleet didn't really want to put me on a ship to start out. How about
I wouldn't take it too personally, even with your heritage in mind. I mean, I've had Romulans. I've had, well, not a ton, but I've had people from, shall I say, non-Federation worlds under my supervision, and they sometimes just a matter of we put bodies where you need them, and sometimes star bases need people. I mean, heck, I started on Beta Z for a long time. I wasn't on ship service till my lieutenancy.
That must have been interesting. I've always been, I don't know, the whole thought reading thing with empaths. It's, I don't know, always felt a little strange to me. But again, I grew up in a society where you're always back, so it's upbringing, I suppose, more than anything else. What was I just going to say? My memory's gone completely blank. You served aboard, was it the Sarek or the Tereshkova?
He kind of taps his pad into the table for a second and looks back at it again. Yeah, I served as her executive officer and her commanding officer for its final days.
Touchy subject.
Well, it has a reputation that it never really lived down, sadly.
Well, I'm, for what it's worth, I suppose, sir, I have no intent of blaming you for that. If I might say so, from what I've seen of you so far, you seem quite, what's a good way to put it? Quite good at your job. It's, noticed a lot of things, frankly, that I should have noticed, which I didn't. Like, that automated message, I honestly should have picked up on that, but...
It's the sort of thing you learn with experience. I'm no more better at this job than any other officer of my rank. I've just been at it long enough and managed to keep my head above water.
Well,
Plus I try to get to know people, as you are, so that's a good start.
I suppose it's, don't know how well it's going so far, though. I may have accidentally butted into, Lieutenant Calum and, Lieutenant Lev, when I wasn't, meant to.
Oh, did you mean to? Any malice aforethought?
No.
He smiles at that.
Lieutenant Calum, invited me to lunch, and I don't know, Lieutenant Leva didn't seem all too pleased with it. But, it was nice, though. They're good people. I'm happy to serve alongside them. We had lunch at this little, cafe on the, Starbase. It's owned by, Bajorn.
Oh, Merrill's.
Yes, Merrill's. Good food. Nice, good place to just grab a bite, I've noticed. Well, from the one time I've been there. And I don't want to... I hope I'm not distracting you too much, Commander.
Oh, no, I like to be around people as I work anyway. The bridge was exceptionally quiet, and much as I love the hum of a ship, it's weird when you're the only one in the room aside from the beta shift, and they're trying desperately not to get my attention.
I can imagine. I do find the hum of the ship relaxing. Helps me sleep.
It's too quiet. I don't know. I'm used to older ships, so I'm used to actually hearing the engine and hearing the bulkheads buckle a little bit. That thing is just still and quiet, and I mean, you hear the hum, but
Have you ever been aboard a starship with a singularity drive?
no, I've read about them, but I've never been aboard.
They're energetic, but when things go wrong, they tend to go, well, a little bit spectacularly wrong.
Quick question for you. Have you met Lieutenant Javrina? She's the new counselor. She's the counselor we have on the Tereshkova.
No, I haven't.
Hmm. Yeah, it's the sort of thing. If you have a, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad you brought up. I mean, it's good of you to get to know me, but when it comes to certain interpersonal issues, the counselor is more adept at advising you on that sort of thing. I can advise you, but given my position as your one of your commanding officers, I have to apply the rules and regulations as much as I want to take a personal stake in it. Until it gets to the shouting and waving of hands part, it's sort of thing you want to make sure you speak with the counselor about to manage it ahead of time as a bit of a preventative maintenance, if nothing else.
I appreciate your honesty, sir.
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm not sure what she's upset about anyway. You were having dinner, nothing to worry about.
Oh, I think...
It's not like you're after the young man anyway.
Oh, no. I certainly wouldn't want to... Someone who's already in a relationship, it's not... No. But I think she was expecting a date. Got an awkward... well, not entirely awkward, but a little
Wait.
bit.
Are you saying the lieutenant invited you along his date?
No, I think it was intended to be a lunch all along. There was miscommunication involved.
Oh. Well.
I just hope I wasn't the cause of any strife that would...
Look, I can talk to Lieutenant Caleb if you want. If you feel too worried about it.
No, I'm not too worried about it. I just I don't know.
You seem a little worried about it.
I am, but it's more of a... I don't know. I just don't like to be the cause of any trouble for anyone, you know? That's all. It's not a serious issue, sir.
Ah. Sorry, I hit the wrong button on my pad.
Sir. Well, I suppose I shouldn't keep you too much longer then. Get back to work?
Calling me a layabout, Lieutenant?
No more than I am, sir.
Well, you should stop that. I heard it's bad for your career.
Fair enough, sir.
But yeah, have a bottle of Canara on me since you came by. I know you didn't have a chance to enjoy yourself since you're, I can tell you're, more worried about the red of my collar than, getting to know me. It's not a bad thing. Respect the uniform and all.
No, I do. I just thought I was keeping too long.
No, I should get back to it. I only stopped in here briefly to catch up.
Well,
get something to eat before I continue.
Well, maybe I can grab you in 10 forward sometime. Have a couple drinks. Speak more casually when work isn't on our mind.
Well, that's right. The Galaxy actually has a 10 forward.
It does. I will speak to you later, sir.
Enjoy yourself. That's an order.
I'll keep that in mind, sir. Thank you. I guess I'll
grab a bottle of Canara on the way out.
2 strips of gold plus platinum.
Wait, is the commander still?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Was he intending to buy the bottle for me, or?
He invited you to buy one. He didn't know you were. He doesn't know you're short.
Right. Do they have any smaller bottles or anything?
Budget bottles,
I have one.
off-brand of brands.
Like a travel bottle type of thing.
He looks at you like it only comes in one size.
You might need to settle for some malt liquor or something.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be getting booze.
You all right, Lieutenant?
Oh, I'm a strip short. Fine.
Huh? Oh, here, I'll cover it.
Oh, are you
Just
sure?
put it to the account of Commander Joan of the Tereshkova.
I can split it with you. I don't want to impose on you, sir.
No, you're just sharing half of it with me, that's all.
Ah, fair enough.
Taps you on the shoulder with his pad.
I'll get the strip out of my pocket and hand it to the vendor.
The Cardassian waiter comes back with the bottle of Canar and hands it to you.
Would you like to watch over it, sir, for now, or should I?
Are you heading back to the ship?
I think so, yes.
All right. Yeah, you can grab it along. And actually, free tip: be sure to save a glass for the captain. It's always good to offer a drink every once in a while. I think he's a drinker.
Well, I'll find out.
Yes.
See, I was worried about the alcoholism, and now Ratal is bumping up superior officers for a change.
Okay, I said you have to be fair.
Oh, you were very polite about it.
But at that point, Joan will step out of the parlor and allow the iterant drinker to with her bottle of Canar.
No, I'm not an alcoholic.
You're a connoisseur.
Yeah, I'm like a what are they called? Sommelier?
Sommelier.
Yeah, I'm a sommelier except for liqueur. Which is basically just an alcoholic, I think. Yeah, I'll head back to the ship and probably... I assume there's somewhere in my quarters I can store the bottle. Or maybe I'll just keep it. I mean, I don't want to carry an open container around. That's probably not legal.
Well, no, they have a stopper on it.
Right.
I mean, unless you're taking swigs of it as you're walking.
Fair enough. Does the guy can I have a takeaway bag or something to put this in? You know what? Never mind. I'll carry it. Okay. 1 second.
It just keeps getting better and better.
So as your head is like, would you like some Tespar eggs to go with that?
I couldn't afford it. That was my last trip.
Oh. We do take Federation credits.
Oh. How many of those do I have? Just kidding. I need a 2-liter bottle of Canar.
72.
Oh. And how much would the eggs be?
15 apiece.
All right. I'll take 2.
Very well. And he comes back with the eggs. He goes, remember, taskbar eggs are best eaten raw.
Raw. Understood. Thank you. Does he give me a little bag or something to carry these in?
He gives you a gift bag.
Okay. Can I fit the booze in there without crushing the eggs?
He recommend no.
Okay. I'll carry the alcohol then and bring it back. I'll just find somewhere to store it in my quarters. For now.
And just so you're aware, the eggs are when is a reference from the TNG episode Chain of Command Part 2.
Right. Cole Madred, by the looks of it, was one of the... Gave those to Captain Picard to humiliate him. Huh. Well, yeah, I'll head back to the ship. Then. Right, now I just need 5 bottles of Romulan ale, and then my dinner's ready.
Just go back to the Rigelian. He might have them.
I'm broke, though. Well, no, I'm not broke anymore. Spent a lot of money on eggs. So is the, is there a specific conversion rate at the moment for, like, strips to credits? No? Okay.
I don't remember.
You've only brought this on yourself, GM.
I know.
You gave us shopping, and we're... Look,
Yeah, I
it's
just did.
But you guys are supposed to do the workload here, not me.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if, like, you know, I didn't want to say, like, oh, I've got, like, 2 bars of Latinum on me, and then that's way too much money.
Well, the way I just did it was just just charge it to my account. Like the start, we're on a star base, so someone could probably just, it's like, I probably have enough credits, and if I don't, the fleet will cover me. If you're out in like, you know, like a Ferengi station or somewhere civvy, I'd be more worried about having actual in your hand Latinum. And if someone's like, no, I only take Latinum in a fully legitimate starbase, I get a little worried about them because, like,
Just go
wait,
on a-
why don't you take credits?
Just go on a bar crawl with, like, government accounts, is what I'm hearing.
Hey, you have a luxury account. Everyone does. Every citizen does.
So now I have an alcoholic and an embezzler to deal with.
Excuse me. You know what? I'm gonna... Okay.
And I mean, if the commander keeps working on the lieutenant here, I'm going to have an alcoholic embezzler also.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, now I feel bad. Is there a way I can, like, wire credits to someone's account?
It's probably some assay office or credits office, I would imagine.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I'm not in debt to anyone, but...
You're not.
I guess we did say we'd share the bottle, and we each paid half, so... Oh, right, I still am in debt. Is my payment being forced to go on a date with, I don't know.
Leva.
I mean, yeah, sure, if that's the way you want to roll it.
Meanwhile, Lieutenant
Yes.
Vogel, give me a fitness plus medicine check. Difficulty 3.
How much momentum we got left?
2 on the table.
All right, I'll spend the 2 and give you a threat.
Yeah.
Ah,
no.
son of a bitch.
Whoops.
You made it.
You got it.
And well, the thing is, I didn't even need the extra damn dice.
Okay. So, Lieutenant, you're no longer thinking about the shiny rock, but you've become very interested in the fact that why was he? Because you thought about it for most of the day. This one particular rock that changed colors. That's sort of shiny, crystal-like in a way, and you're wondering why, distinctly why, that Virgilian merchant went to hide it away as quickly as he did, and was charging 5 gold bars of latinum for it. You've now become super intrigued as to why he would do that.
And I'm going to assume the complication makes me go and look at it.
No, that is the complication, is that you're extremely intrigued why he has that. You're no longer thinking about it. It's no longer in the back of your mind, but you're just more intrigued as why was he doing this?
Why was he trying to hide the shiny?
Yes, why was he trying to hide the shiny?
I think we go pay Mr. Regillian a visit.
All right. You head back onto the station again. And he goes like, Lieutenant, welcome back to my esteemed shop. What can I do for you? Was there something here that caught your eye that you are interested in purchasing?
Yeah, I think I want to take a look at that shiny gem again.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not for sale. In fact, I just sold it not too long ago.
Really? You found a buyer for 5 bars of latinum for a small gemstone?
Of course. I was come and go here. Give me insight plus command or security. Difficulty 1.
It doesn't matter which one. They're both the same. Difficulty 1. Think we'll risk it.
He is lying through his teeth.
You know, something tells me I think you still have the crystal. You mind if I take a look at it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Told you, I sold it.
I think we both know that you're lying, sir.
Presence plus command, difficulty 1.
I'm gonna give you a threat.
Hey, you get a momentum. Look, you don't want the crystal. You don't want it. Lieutenant.
You know, I couldn't get that thing out of my mind all day. What's going on with it?
It's not for sale, Lieutenant. It wasn't supposed to be on the floor shelf. It will do you harm. You should not be anywhere near it. My apologies if you were affected by it. I meant you no harm.
If it's gonna do me harm, how can I trust that it's not gonna do anyone else harm?
This is why I am securing it and preparing it to leave the station as we speak.
You know, I think we can help with that. If this is truly dangerous, I think it might be better if we put it in a crap, brain farting words.
Secure container?
In an isolation field.
Oh.
Kind of leaned in. Are you sure you want to do this, Lieutenant? It's...
If this is truly as dangerous as you say, I think I have to.
Give me presence plus command, difficulty 2.
I'll spend that momentum. I don't think I got anything else that helps. Yeah, we'll just try it.
Okay. Awesome. So, what do you want to do about the complication?
I guess we'll give it to you.
Alright. Right. Very well. I will get my container. Just wait a moment and I'll give it to you. No charge. I would consider this a great favor. In fact, if there's another item here, you may pick it. But excuse me, I will go get the item. The rock. And he walks off.
As he walks off, I'm going to comm badge Lieutenant Groslin and ask him to bring a isolation device, like a isolation unit, the small one.
That will cost a crew support.
Yep.
And usually I would say this would be an opportunity cost of 1, but you can give me threat for the isolation unit. Be 1 threat.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it.
He's trying to get us to give him that Borg cube.
I had the Borg cube at the start. I really wanted to do it, then I did.
How about 5 Borg cubes?
Well,
You have
then
to play on
guys
the
go-
Argo for that.
That'd be more the Tenjin.
Or oh, what were those dinosaur aliens in the Delta Quadrant that are at that huge city ship and really scary technology?
Oh, species 8792 or something like that.
8472, they're not really dinosaurs. But
No,
No,
I know what you're
there's another
talking
one.
about. They actually were from Earth, and they were like the smart dinosaurs that got away from the
They were like
catastrophe.
ankylosaurs, I think.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember their name. Juan or something. Something with an H.
Distant origin. I found the episode. Voth.
That's it.
Anyways.
And moments pass. It takes a little bit before your Crimer comes back with a containment unit, and the merchant, it's already in like a sealed container, and as he brings it out, he trips. The container comes down, and then the rock comes spilling out of the container. And he just kind of has this gasp look on his face like, oh no.
I'm gonna scan it.
Reason plus science, difficulty 4.
Ouch. I think I'm burning a determination here. For information is the key to overcoming any obstacle.
Sure.
So I need 2 sensor operations as a focus.
Not in this case, no.
I don't think it'll classify a spatial phenomenon. I don't think xenobiology would work.
I'm gonna say there is one, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. But you will have a focus for this role.
The only other one I could think of would be astrophysics. That might, because I don't think it's computers.
But you have a focus, but I'm not telling you which one it is.
Okay.
For dramatic flair.
Okay. Do I give you the 2 threat? I think we go with. God damn it.
Well, all your scan shows that it definitely looks like a crystalline, some sort of rock. And it's changing shape rather rapidly as it's full view. And with the complication, people on the side of the promenade are beginning to gather around and they look intensely at the rock. Give me
Alright,
a
I'm gonna.
fitness plus medicine check. Difficulty 1.
I'm gonna turn the crewmen and work with them to get it inside the containment field or the containment.
Whoever is got guns in needs to make a fitness plus medicine check, difficulty 1.
I got it out.
But both of you have this rock in your mind and you just can't get it out.
Are we able to put it in the thingy?
Yeah, you do. You get in the containment unit.
Does that help matters?
As you start carrying, so the containment unit is probably closed and sealed, so not really. It's still in the back of your mind. And as you're heading back towards the ship, you notice that the crowd that was looking at it is following you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna calm Retal.
This is Lieutenant Tasharik speaking.
Lieutenant, I think we might need some assistance outside the airlock.
I'll prepare a security team.
Thank you. Should be there momentarily. Be warned, there's about, would you say, 10 people behind it?
Eh, 5.
We are being followed by about 5 individuals.
Civilians?
Yes.
Alright, myself and Ensign Talk will meet you at the airlock.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Over and out. There's the comm channel, and yeah, I guess assuming I'm back at the ship at this point, I'll gather Ensign Talk, and head towards the airlock. Stand outside just with phasers not drawn, but just on a low sun setting. Just in case, worst comes to worst.
All right. So the science team and the group of individuals are near the airlock.
Lieutenant, are you in position?
I'm in position.
And I'll walk through the airlock.
And the 5 civilians attempt to follow you into the airlock.
Okay, I'm going to immediately sort of step in their way and hold out a hand to try to stop them. This is a Starfleet vessel. You can't enter. I'm afraid you'll have to turn back.
Fitness plus security to hold the crowd back. Difficulty is 2.
Be
Okay.
careful. I've seen
Um,
characters die from this.
Yeah.
Trample
Would-
death.
Would hand-to-hand combat do anything? Or would I have
Not
to
in this
actually be
case.
beating them down?
You have to be beating them down. So no, it would be more a focus in this case would be like crowd control.
Okay. All right.
Intimidation.
We don't have
Or
any momentum.
intimidation, yeah.
Shoot. Well, let's hope I don't die. You said it's difficulty 2?
Yes. The talk can assist on this since he was
Oh.
there. This will
Right.
expend a crew support though too.
Okay.
What
yeah,
else
I'll
are we
do
going to
it.
use them for?
10-4. Patient range 2. Or 1, sorry.
Well, it'd be 1, so that's actually a momentum. Because I'll take the first one, the result. Because you only roll 1 dice for an assist.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So yeah, they are pushing, and they do manage to. You manage to hold them back.
Okay. Are they, like, across the threshold at this point, or are they kind of...
No, you hold them back at bay at the airlock, and they're getting quite. They're very interested in to follow the lieutenant and her science team, and you take 1 stress
Okay.
as trying to hold the crowd back as they're pushing on you and.
People,
Can I... Nope, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess as I'm trying to hold them back, I need you people to back away, please. This is... I can't let you aboard this vessel.
Presence plus security. Difficulty is going to be 3.
Okay. Okay, I might use I think I'm gonna use momentum for this. How do I... There we go. Difficulty 3. Don't really have anything I can apply here. Here we go.
They are getting very reckless. And run me roll an opposed, because one of them takes a swipe at you.
Okay. Opposed.
It's going to be an opposed daring plus security roll. I need to...
Okay.
Oh, where are you at my blank character sheets?
Would hand-to-hand apply in this case?
Yes, hand-to-hand will apply in this case.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Alright, I guess I'll just roll now then. Ooh.
You gain 2 momentum, and yeah, as he comes and strikes. Now, my question is for this: with the hand-to-hand, you can do damage unless you want to sort of shove him out of the way. In which case, you won't do any damage to him.
I would say push him out of the way, and then I could try to get a force field up. Or since we are technically on the ship, you could security team a force field.
That would trap us outside though, I think.
Aren't we in the threshold, like inside the ship?
So you're, as this is happening, you're already have gone past the threshold and in the ship. Talk and Tachart, yeah, sorry, right? Tachart,
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
They're at the sort of the entryway going into the ship, so they're technically on the starbase.
Right. Yes, otherwise they'd be kind of on the threshold, I think.
So yeah, like kind of what Joan messaged. Can you shove them and then step into the ship? And then force field there.
To try to do it quickly enough.
You already have the result. So, like, my question is, are you just going to shove?
No, I'm just shoving him back. I don't want to hurt him.
Okay. Alright, you shove him back. And the others they're starting to get really wound up. And all of them look like they're getting ready to start attacking you. Like they're some sort of mindless zombie.
Okay, I guess, is this the point where I want to start trying to stun people? I guess I was just assaulted, so that's probably...
Now we do have momentum, so
Yes.
we could possibly gain the advantage that you wouldn't step into the ship, and then you're able to use your security team.
Is that something we can do?
So what you can do, you can use a security team, but it's going to cost 1 momentum and 1 threat, because it isn't considered an escalation.
Mm-hmm.
To use a security team to quell the crowd.
Right, and that would be the force field or getting in and closing the door behind us.
Well, that's getting security members.
Well, because I'm thinking of not using the security members to escalate, but using them to engage a force field once everyone's inside.
Then we could do this as an advantage, and that will cost 2 momentum.
Yeah,
let's do that. Yep, so I guess as I shove this guy back into the crowd, I'm gonna signal for Ensign Talk to get back inside, and then I'll try to follow. This is essentially how I'm thinking of doing this. Well, they're still reeling a little bit.
Okay. You get the security teams, and some of the station security teams come and assist in this. And they start sort of handcuffing, subduing the crowd members and taking them under arrest. And well, the reason why he does, but it's only on the ship. They're on the station.
That's why I was trying to get them on the ship.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's why that was why the cost for the escalation, and then yeah.
Okay.
But yes, the station security and some of the members of the Tereshkova security team, they call the crowd. The station security takes them away, but you can see as they're pulling them away, they're struggling to try to get away and get towards the airlock.
Okay. Am I behind a force field at this point?
Yeah, I'm saying they're taking them. They're dragging them away, but you can see them. They're trying to pull themselves towards the airlock.
Okay. I'm guessing there's a panel or something like near the airlock that I can use to shut it, or begin the process of closing it. I guess it's an airlock, so it would be 2 doors, but.
I mean, you have the force field in place, and there are members of the Tereshkova crew that are on the starbase right now.
Right. Yeah, okay, where would Lieutenant Vogel be at this point?
Probably near the far doors that lead it actually inside the ship.
Okay, so
the far end of the airlock, I guess.
All right, so a little out of speaking range then.
I guess I'm technically still in the same.
Okay.
I imagine while this is all going on, you've taken it and you're already in a turbolift heading towards one of the science labs.
That works too.
All right, I'll comm badge. This is Lieutenant Tacharek to Lieutenant Vogel. What? If you don't mind me asking, Lieutenant Vogel, what is going on here exactly?
I wish I knew, Lieutenant. I'm gonna try to figure that out right now.
I suppose I should notify the captain of the situation. More of just it is less of a, actually, if you don't mind me asking, but tell me also, this is a weird situation. I'll contact the captain to just appraise him of the situation. Over and out. Comm badge off. I guess I should wait. Actually, yeah, essentially that. Like, you're gonna tell me, but this is weird. I'll, I'm gonna post myself in the, force. Oh, right, I have the captain on comm badge. Whoops.
Is someone trying to calm me?
Yes, it's me. But I'm not gonna introduce myself like that. This is Lieutenant Tacharik to Captain Elder. Do you read me?
Yeah, you're coming through clear.
We have it's under control, sir, but we have a bit of a situation on the ship. Well, not aboard the ship. Some civilians just tried to, force their way aboard to obtain something that, well, Lieutenant Vogel seems to think is influencing them somehow. We're going to try to perform an analysis, but I thought I should appraise you of the situation. I hate to interrupt your leave, sir, but, it seems pertinent to inform you.
It's always something. I'll be there in a minute. Computer in program. And I'll head to the area.
And I guess by the time he gets there, Lieutenant Tacharik will be waiting at the force field. See, the leave episodes, they always start fine, but then something ends up happening. That's how they go.
I guess I'll walk up to chair. So what do we have going on here, Lieutenant?
I'll lower the force field to let the captain through.
Why are you cordoning off my ship?
As I said, sir, we had to raise the force field to prevent the civilians from getting aboard. They were extremely aggressive. One of them attempted to strike me, but the Starbase security managed to... Well, I kept him off of me, and Starbase security arrested them.
What did y'all do? To incite them?
Lieutenant, I'm afraid you'd have to ask Lieutenant Vogel, sir. There's something in her possession that it seems is perhaps influencing these civilians somehow. They seemed desperate to get at her. None of them really said why, sir.
I mean, she's a good officer. I never thought she'd start a riot.
I don't think she did start a riot, sir. It seems whatever she was carrying with her, the civilians seemed desperate to get at.
Okay, well, where's the lieutenant?
I believe she... Does the ship have a, like a single main lab?
It has multiple labs, but you could just say, ask the computer to locate Lieutenant Vogel.
Computer, locate Lieutenant Vogel.
Lieutenant Vogel is in the science lab.
There's your answer, sir.
We'll just say science lab number 2.
Okay, well, let's get going.
I'll head there with the captain after I raise the force field and
Oh, don't leave the force field down. Post a couple of security officers. That should be fine.
Yes, sir. I'll send orders to the whatever shift is currently on duty.
I guess give them swords and hooks and tell them to be ready to repel boarders.
That, I'm not sure what Starfleet Command would think of that strategy. Like it.
So I guess we'll head to science lab number 2.
Yeah.
Those are mutinous words. Or a mutinous meme, at least.
We're mutinying against the people who are mutinying against you. It's a counter-revolution.
Yeah, I don't know how the captain feels about counter-revolutionaries. That never goes well.
No, it doesn't tend to, does it? Boy. I apologize for interrupting your shore leave, sir.
I'm starting to
And-
get the understanding that as a captain, none of them go uninterrupted.
You arrive at the lab 2.
I walk in the door.
I will also do that. I guess I'll go ahead of the captain just to...
Wait, is there a door in here? All the other rooms have doors. Do you have to beam into the lab?
No, there's
No.
doors everywhere.
There's
Oh,
a
I thought there's
door
a
right
wall.
there.
I thought there's a wall, but like just below Takaric. Or
Oh, it does.
Tachari.
That's like a. It looks like a or something or a.
Probably
It's
an
a-
isolation door.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, or just to mark, maybe just to like mark off where the rooms are.
So, Lieutenant, I've heard you have some quite voracious followers now.
It would appear so, Captain.
Do you mind informing me what you did?
Well, sir, it all seems to involve this rock that's in the containment field. I would recommend not looking at the because it appears that anyone that looks at it becomes mesmerized by it.
GM, can I kind of use my visor to cycle through different light wavelengths to see if anything changes in the room? Like if there's any like X-rays coming off of this or like microwaves?
My question is real quick, Vogel. Did you take the rock out and put it in sort of in the isolation chamber right there?
I put the isolation cell inside the isolation chamber.
So
I
it's
just
still
took
in its
our
con-
I just took our portable thing and put it inside there because I don't know what we're dealing with.
And we don't want to look at it.
Okay. So with your visor though, you can't see anything past the actual isolation container.
But yeah, there's I guess the isolation chamber would also cut out any radiation or anything like that.
Yes, it would cut out pretty
Okay.
much everything. Like, essentially it's a Faraday cage in a way, along with other things.
So what is
Do I see any like? Go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna ask what's the isolation cell reading off of the thing?
I haven't done any scans yet, so that's going to be a reason plus science difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science. And you do have a focus. I'm just not telling you which one.
Okay.
Do I see any unusual things coming off of the lieutenant? Because I assume she's had this rock in her possession without an isolation chamber on it.
You
Like
don't see anything unusual.
Okay.
One
No.
momentum on the table.
Yeah, I'll use the momentum to try and cautious science. And then is my assistant able to assist in this since he's still?
Yes, but I'm going to increase the complication range by 1.
Fair
I
enough.
already threw him on the table, by the way, on the map.
You could use a determination to get around the complication range.
I already used it.
Oh, well, do you want another one?
I won't say no.
Okay, I'm giving you another one.
Okay, well, I know you're there, so you gotta tell me. You need an RP flavor, giving Lieutenant Vogel that determination, before I will allow it.
Okay. Lieutenant, I'm gonna need you to put all your effort into this one because y'all had to rough handle some citizens out there, and that's gonna look really bad. So I really need you to come up with a reason why that was necessary.
I'm trying to find a reason myself, Captain.
Is that bueno?
Yep, I'll allow it.
All right, I'm not going to use it for this one because because we're rolling 5 dice with all the assists, so I think we'll be okay. For this one, I want to save it in case there's a more difficult one down the road.
The reason I gave it to you here is so that you did not have to use the assists or buy the dice because of the increased complication range. I mean, you don't have to do that. That's just kind of the idea I had.
Okay, we'll do that. We won't have that guy assist. I'll crack the determination with the information is key thing, and then we still get the ship, correct?
Yes, you still get the ship.
And you said reason science?
Yes, it's just by the ship's sensors plus science.
Would you be able to scan it if it's in an isolation cell?
Well, it has scanners inside of it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I guess I accidentally clicked it twice, but the first one was a success.
So that would be 5 successes.
2. It's 5 momentum. No, it's 5. 2, 4, then the 5th. So yeah, 2 momentum gain. Am I counting that right? 2 from the determination, 2 from the roll, 1 from the ship. Yeah, so 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So 5 total, minus 3, 2.
Yep, 2 momentum gain.
Which might be useful if Vogel didn't already naturally get 50,000 questions.
I know, right?
Like you get at least 3 off the top of my head from this.
Well, 2?
Oh wait, we don't have high resolution sensors. Never mind. That was a Sarek thing.
We should get those.
No, we got better.
High res. No, you have
high res is another question. The advanced sensors decreases difficulty.
You have high resolution sensors.
So I get 3. I get 3 for.
Oh, okay.
I get 3 for you questions.
Yeah.
Anytime I use a science thing in the ship.
I think it has to be sensors.
Right, but my position means I also get the question anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why a science officer is awesome for that. It's like, oh, you bring along a science officer? Ding, I get a free question. Why? I'm here.
And I have studious, so I get 2.
Yeah.
That's why I took science over helm. I'm assuming Prax has to make stuff up.
Have we considered shooting the rock?
Shooting things is normally like the second or third option at least when it comes to Starfleet. We tend not to use that as the first option.
No, unless you're Worf.
I think Worf's primary thing is to yell at it first.
Right.
Then he would shoot it.
It's the second option for him.
Captain, It appears that this thing is alive, and not only alive, it's emanating telepathic waves.
So, could it be that it's trying to communicate with us, or it wants to manipulate us to do something?
Can we can I make out the wave pattern to see if it's a discernible language or pattern?
If we could, along that same line of thought, if you could find a way to translate it in a way the computer understand, we could hook it into the universal translator.
Yep, you're along my same lines of thoughts.
Makes me wonder why that. Where did you get the crystal, Lieutenant Vogel, if you don't mind me asking?
I found it in a store.
Rigelian trader?
I assume you know him.
He sold a Romulan harp to me. I wonder why he had a living crystal, if he knew it was alive.
He tried to sell me the crystal for 5 bars and then quickly tried to hide it. And I've been thinking about this damn rock all day. Until finally I had to go back and look at it.
Lieutenant, where's that harp?
It's in my quarters, sir.
Have a security team get that and bring it here. Why don't you lead that team to make sure that it actually makes it here? Because it may also be contaminated or sentient.
I suppose so, sir. It was rather heavy. I'll carry it here myself with the team. And I'll whoops. Head out the door. And
I've never heard of a sentient harp before, but I've also never met a rock. So
the only living rock that I know of out of character is a rock I do not want to meet. Is in the crystalline entity. Anyways, yeah, Ritala will head back to her quarters and gather.
Go ahead.
All right,
And
Captain, I am picking up random energy patterns coming from it. It's hard to make a language, but I think the computer might be able to figure something else. It will take time, though.
Can you see if it matches any known life forms in the database? That may cut down on the time to search.
Checking the bit database, Cap.
Yeah, I'll assign 2 security officers to bring the harp down with me. I'll carry it myself.
No idea if I spelled that right, to be honest. The last part there.
It seems to be a distant cousin of a Tholian design.
Oh, so we have a sentient rock and a possible diplomatic incident on our hands.
I don't think they're related to the Tholians. I just think they might have evolved from a similar event.
Okay.
And I still have one question.
Yes, you do.
I can't think of anything else to ask.
Did we establish whether it was intelligent or whether we thought it was sentient? Like, the difference between a dog and a human?
I think that's a good third question.
Excuse me, it would be sapient or sentient? God.
Wow. Okay. As you try to determine that through the computer, I need everyone in the room to make a fitness plus medicine check, difficulty 3.
Captain,
Out.
what's your fitness security?
Decent.
Fitness plus medicine.
Sorry,
Oh,
fitness medicine.
Not decent. It's an 11.
Yours is higher than mine, so you should probably go first. But also, our other guys is pretty.
Give me a second.
Grosnin. I guess this is an 11 as well.
Where did Ratalia go?
He left to go get his harp.
She went to go get the harp.
That's
That's
right.
the captain's quarters.
Okay. Yep, that's right.
And she'll be carrying it back herself, but she'll bring 2 security officers with her.
Well, we could have this. We could have Grosnin go first.
Can I spend 3 stress for an additional D20?
3 stress?
Yeah, because of my biomechanical arm.
No, this would not qualify. In that case, because this is more
talent's
mental.
not written that way.
Yeah, but this is mental.
This is the mental discipline.
Yeah.
And the visor wouldn't filter anything out. Like, this is definitely not communicating to us visually. Like
it's telepathic.
Okay. I was unsure because you told me not to look at it.
That's why I originally thought, and then we learned it was telepathic.
Well, it's too bad I don't have a determination.
I think we're all about to be hypnotized.
Can I use endurance as a focus?
Let me see your focuses real quick.
Well, I imagine shipboard tactical systems and hand phasers don't really work.
You know what? I will allow it and increase complication.
Sure, because I have a security of. No, I have a medicine of 1, so obviously that's a bad idea. I should have thought about that. I'm going. I'm going to spend 3 threat.
All right. Gain a momentum.
And so that puts us at 3 momentum.
It was difficulty 2, I think.
Difficulty 3.
Oh.
3 momentum on the table, yeah.
All right, I'm going to spend 1 for Grosnin, and I'm just going to throw 3 dice. And he's probably going to get hit here, but I think it'll...
All right. I'll
mostly
explain what happens to him.
Mostly because I'm going to save it for me.
All right.
I'm going to spend 2 momentum and give you a threat to roll.
Okay. Ouch. With that, Captain, as you feel this intense psychic pain in coming from your head, as you look around your visor, you see Gorzin and Vogel fall to the ground unconscious. And while Gorzin is unconscious, you can see Vogel's eyes are wide open and her eyes begin to glow. And I think with that, we'll call it to be continued.
Well,